Coming up on Look Today, well, a meeting on a proposed needle exchange program took place last night in Hudson Falls, and we were there. I've got details. Plus, Lake George Arts Project is currently showcasing the artwork of 2 regional artists. I've got those details. And Saratoga Springs is getting ready for the 20th annual Chowdafest. I've got those details all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. I'm J. Hood Jackson. This is Look Today. And on tonight's program, I sit down with Taylor Markham, Jared Wachtel, and Sarah Hojnicki. They're 3 Ballston Spa middle school students, and they're here to talk about their roles in the school's upcoming production of Shrek the Musical. Fun interview. Plus, I also sit down with Dave Johnson. Now, he's a marketing chair, board of directors for the Burnt Hills Oratorio Society. Now, he's here to talk about an upcoming show called Broadway Cabaret. That's happening, by the way, February 11. Plus, we've got your weekend weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, a meeting on a proposed needle exchange program took place last night in Hudson Falls. The meeting was held in the courthouse and had an attendance of nearly 170 people. Well, the topic of discussion was whether the site of a needle exchange program should be located on Main Street across from Jucket Park. It's right downtown Hudson Falls. Now, many were outraged at the lack of communication between the community and officials. Other concerns, of course, include safety of children in the vicinity near the exchange facility. We spoke to Deputy Mayor of Hudson Falls, Bob Cook.
The Department of Health, once again, has very clear regulations on this. It can't be anywhere where children are likely to be. It just can't. And yet in their application, they say in their application, there are no schools or playgrounds nearby. Well, that's not true. Right across the park is Head Start. Head Start has 54 preschoolers there. Around the corner, a block away, is the Margaret Murphy Kindergarten Center. That's where all of our kindergartners are. The building itself has children in it. We had grandparents last night who brought their toddler granddaughter, very afraid. I met them before the meeting. They said, "Mr. Cook, what are we going to do?" I says, "We're going to try to stop this because the site is absolutely inappropriate for that." Well
said, Bob. In other news, Lake George Arts Project is currently showcasing the artwork of 2 very talented regional artists, the ceramics of Regis Brody and the paintings of Leslie Yolen. Now, the current exhibition runs from January 13 to February 15 at the Courthouse Gallery, which is right downtown Lake George, and the exhibition is open to the public. Now, there's an event tomorrow at the gallery with both artists. We spoke to Laura Van Rusk. She's the gallery director, Lake George Arts Project.
Saturday, February 3rd, from 4 to 6, we have our reception for the artists. It was postponed from the original date of January 13th. So they will both be here, and people are welcome to, it's free, and anybody can come on in. We will probably do a little Q&A with the artists around 5 o'clock. That's typically what we do. And people can ask them questions then, or they could they'll have their name tags on. They can talk to them during the reception. We'll have some snacks, a reception table, refreshments.
Switching from news to weather. We can expect partly overcast skies again. What happened to the moon? Last night, lost it again to the clouds. Well, let's see how the weekend is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Sponsor with your first look weather update here on Lake TV. Let's take a look at the national forecast. We have high pressure dominating much of the eastern half of the country. That cold front is now advancing into the western Atlantic, but we'll be seeing pretty cold temps. 3 in Buffalo, 0 Albany, 8 in Scranton, Pennsylvania, -3 in Burlington, Vermont. More locally will be in the lower single digits, maybe single digits below 0 in a few spots. 0 in Fort Edward and Whitehall. Glens Falls will be in the Goose Egg, 0 degrees. Johnsburg, in Pottersville could be down to about -7, with wind chills as low as -10. Partly cloudy with that northwest wind of 15 or so miles per hour. A few snow showers. We could keep those wind chills about -10 early in the day. We only warm up to 24 degrees with that southwest wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. A few isolated snow or flurries with mostly cloudy skies, with temperatures in the single digits to around 10, and those are the air temps. We could see those wind chills down in -10 as you walk out the door. We'll follow that by a high of 33 on Sunday, 70% chance of snow with overnight low at 20. Then we'll continue to see those temperatures remain in the mid-20s or so by early next week, with partial sunshine Monday, mostly cloudy Tuesday, followed by a likely shot of snow on Wednesday, highs mid-30s, overnight low of 17, winds out in the north-northeast. That was your weather update here on First Look Weather here on Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Sponsor. Now I send you back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Clarence. All right, back to the news. It's hard to believe it's the 20th annual, but it is. Chowdafest is taking place in Saratoga Springs tomorrow. Now, many restaurants will be participating in this annual event. Now, the cost of a cup of chowder is going to be $1. Usually is. Now, some of the restaurants will be offering their classic, while others are going to be serving some very unique and original styles. Now, we'll be there, and we'll have more for you on Monday. Personally, I'm going to miss Kevin's Gaffney shrimp chowder. Kevin is no longer at Gaffney's, and you would like to know what happened to Gaffney's. Up next, I sit down with Taylor Markham, Jared Wachtel, and Sarah Hojnicki. They're 3 middle school students at Boston Spa, and they're here to talk about their roles in the upcoming production of Shrek the Musical. Plus, I also sit down with Dave Johnson. He's marketing chair, board of directors for the Burnt Hills Oratorio Society. He's here to talk about an upcoming show called Broadway Cabaret. That's happening February 11th. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. Another important week here at Look Media. We keep making one step at a time, getting ourselves back. We almost have all the bugs worked out. But boy, oh boy, these weeks are something. I want to thank everybody here. That would be ladies first. That would be Antoinette and Dana, who's got the flu again. We've got Andrew, we got Drew, who also has the flu. We've got Jack and Joel. We got Norm. We have the Bat. All these people make everything that we do here each and every week possible. And boy, have we locked arms over this last 3 weeks especially. But like I said, we're pretty much past it. We're pretty much back where we need to be. All right, this weekend, a lot of stuff going on. I had mentioned Chowdafest, Saratoga. That's going on. Shrek the Musical. I don't know about you if you watched that interview with the kids from the middle school. Well, boy, it's really wonderful to see the children express themselves like that. You know what I mean? They need support. You go and see this and yell and scream. You know what I mean? And the Lake George Winter Carnival, is this weekend also. I think it's like the next 3 weekends. Drove through Lake George last night. Not sure about the ice, but they're definitely doing the outhouse races, I'll tell you that. So you might want to head up there this weekend. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines and a brand new tracks featuring Wild Adriatic. It's kind of an unplugged deal for them, and we taped it at Track's new home, Cafe Lena, here in Saratoga Springs. It is really quite a program. Really catchy. It'll be on a bunch of times over the weekend. And don't forget, you can tune in Monday night for the stories that matter to you. Have a safe weekend, everyone, and good night.